Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Team Barca. In today's video we are previewing Getafe versus Barcelona. An interesting matchup, an interesting game. Finally we are finishing the international break, getting back to what really matters, at least from my perspective, being Danish, and that is Barca playing. So we need Barca back on the pitch, and it's gonna be a difficult away game, at least that's my sense. Getafe is a very difficult side to play against. They're physical, they want to win every first and second ball, and that's what we're going to be talking about today in today's video. But let's first start by looking back. So Barca has played against Getafe 34 times. They've won 25 times, drawn 6 and lost on 3 occasions. But the last loss was quite a number of years ago. Getafe has gone through quite a strange transition in the last 3 years. Sometimes they've been completely out of the league, but in the last 2 or 3 seasons they've really stepped up their game. When Bordalas came in, he brought a whole different system. He brought a much more defensive system to the team, which has really helped them improve. He also brought in a former player, which we all know, Cucurella, the former Barcelona left back. I was quite sad to see him leave, but I do think he would have a tough time getting into the starting level for Barca. So I'm always glad to see Barca players going to another club if they can play for ours and do well. And that's exactly what he's done. He's done extremely well at Getafe. There he doesn't play as a left back, he does play as a left wing, where he has the option to show that he can both defend and attack. Attack, something he probably learned at Barcelona, but I do think that he's definitely improved defensively since moving to Getafe. Alright, let's get into some of the playing style of Getafe. They play a very, very narrow 4-4-2 usually. They have some old strikers that we've been linked to in the past, but they do look to hit you on the counter. Something that Barca historically and also at the moment really has trouble defending against. So when Barca attack, they push up the defensive line as high as possible. We often see Lenglet and PK standing on the halfway line doing short and long passes, but that does mean that if a fast player like Cucurella or another player hits you on the break, you really need to be aware of those runs. And therefore, as we're going to see in my starting lineup, I've taken some measures to try and improve the defensive line at Barcelona in terms of pace, because that's one of the things I think is going to be important in this game, to really counter their presence and a possibility to hit us on the counter-attack. If we move on to the Barca lineup, I've gone with not just slightly, but a very different lineup than what Barca has played in the first 3 games. As we can see, I've placed Griezmann at the very top instead of on the right. I'm going to explain why I did that later. I'm going to put Dembélé on the left wing instead of Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati is a great player. I love everything he does, but Dembélé needs playing time. He needs an option or a possibility to show what he can bring to the table, and his pace down the left wing can be a very good option. If the other team counterattacks us and we win the ball, we can just send him flying down the left wing. He's also very good in tight spaces, which means that he can outnumber the opposition by dribbling past them. I'm going to place Coutinho at the 10 slot, maybe interchanging a bit with Messi and on the right wing, and also Griezmann if he drops deep. Coutinho has been playing excellently for the last few games. I think he's probably been our best player since the return of La Liga. I'm going to put De Jong next to Pjanic. I'm not sure if Pjanic is actually going to play in this game because he was subbed last night in the international game, but we're just going to have to wait and see if it was just a nickeling or a kick that made him be substituted, or if he's actually injured. Then of course Busquets is going to come in and play that role instead. As you can see, my defensive line, the back line, is very new, and it might be too experimental, but I do think putting Serginho Dest and Firpo on the right back and the left back slot would be an interesting choice. We could also see Dest going to left back and then Sergio Roberto being put on the right back position. The reason for putting in Firpo, obviously Alba is injured at the moment and we do need a left-footed left back, I do think, in terms of trying to get some crosses into the box, hopefully where Griezmann can hurt the other team. In the centre back's position, I did put Araujo next to Lenglet. PK, he looks fit this season, but he is not fast anymore. That's quite obvious for everyone to see, and Araujo is one of the fastest centre backs in all of La Liga, and I do think his physical appearance as well is really going to help us when defending, not just with a high line, but also on counter-attacks and on crosses, which is something Getafe is definitely excellent at. I'm back after being given the red card, which in my opinion was absolutely ridiculous, but that's for another day. So I think the combination of Araujo and Lenglet could prove to be a good one heading into the future. Araujo has been very impressive in the games that I've seen him play. His stats are also quite good. He's good enough on the short pass. That's something he can definitely improve. He does pass backwards and sideways a lot, but what he brings that PK really doesn't is pace. He's just as good in the air probably, and his physical nature does so that on the one-on-one where he does defend, he doesn't have to go in for the slide tackle as much as PK does, because he knows he can't catch them if they run past him. Dest, I think, could be quite an interesting play to see in this game. He has a lot of pace going up and down the flank. He's good in the crosses. When Messi puts or pushes into the more central world at number 10, we could definitely see Dest going up that right flank and put in an impressive performance, I think, hopefully. He might go to the left back slot as I mentioned, and then we can just see what he can do there. Neto in goal, he's doing alright, I think, much better than I expected. He is a good keeper, although he isn't Ter Stegen level, but that's alright with me. Ter Stegen is one of the best keepers in the world, and we can't expect Neto to really have the same level, especially with his feet in both long and short passes. My prediction for this game, I think it's going to be a difficult one. Getafe is a difficult side to play against. What we do have for us, working for us, is the fact that they don't have their home fans with them. So the pressure is going to be less intense, and my prediction will be a 2-1 victory for Barcelona. I do think the other team will score. I think Cucurella could have an important role. He wants to show what he can bring to the club. For Getafe, he wants not to hurt Barcelona, obviously, but he wants to show that I changed clubs and that wasn't the best decision that Barcelona made. Obviously, I totally get that as a player myself. You really need to show your former team what you can bring to the table. 2-1 to Barcelona, hopefully. What's most important is just that we win this game. We need to keep the positivity going. We need to keep this push on Real Madrid at the top of the table. And I think we can do it. We need to win as many games as possible going into the El Clasico, which is going to be in just around 10 days, guys. It's going to happen soon. I think we can do it. And as always, thanks for watching and enjoy the Spanish guitar on the way out. Have a great day. Bye.